Imagine an empire so vast it touched 3 continents, stretching from Europe's heart to Arabia's sands. For 6 centuries, the Ottoman Empire shaped the world, connecting east and west like never before. Its ships sailed the Mediterranean, its armies marched from Vienna to Persia, and its cities bustled with people of every faith and language. Christians, Jews, and Muslims all called it home, united under powerful sultans whose decisions could change the course of history. The Ottomans built legendary mosques, palaces, and bridges, leaving a mark on every land they ruled. In Cairo's markets, goods from Istanbul mingled with spices from afar. In European courts, the Sultan's name inspired awe and fear. Their armies were modern, their navy formidable, and for centuries, to challenge the Ottomans was to challenge the world's mightiest force. But no empire lasts forever. The Ottomans' rise was spectacular, their decline slow and painful. Internal struggles and outside threats chipped away at their power, yet their legacy endures. In the borders of nations, the languages spoken, and the architecture that still stands. This is the epic tale of the Ottoman Empire, from humble beginnings to a dramatic end. Its story is one of ambition, glory, and transformation. The empire's shadow still stretches across the modern world. The Ottomans were more than conquerors, they were builders of a civilization that shaped history. Their influence is woven into the fabric of today's societies. The story of the Ottomans is a reminder of how power can rise, fall, and leave a lasting mark. The world we know was shaped by their rule. Their story is not just history, it's the foundation of our present. The Ottoman Empire, a bridge between worlds, a force that changed the course of history. Let's journey through its rise, its golden age, and its final days. This is the story of the empire that once ruled 3 continents. The Ottoman story begins with Osman, leader of a small Turkish tribe in Anatolia around 1300. Osman dreamed of greatness, a tree growing from him, its branches covering the world. Inspired, he and his Ghazi warriors fought to expand their territory, challenging the weakened Byzantine Empire. Through skill, alliances, and tolerance, Osman's state grew. The Ottomans allowed conquered peoples to keep their customs and religions, asking only for taxes. This policy made ruling diverse lands easier and built loyalty. Osman's son Orhan continued the expansion, crossing into Europe and establishing a foothold. The Ottomans' ambition was clear. They were not content with Anatolia alone. United by faith and strong leadership, their small state became a regional power. Their military spirit and practical governance set them apart. The foundations Osman laid, strength, tolerance, and vision, would shape the empire for centuries. As the Ottomans grew, their dream became reality. A new dynasty was born, destined to change world history. From humble beginnings, the empire started to take shape. The Ottomans' rise was swift, their ambitions boundless. Their story was just beginning. The world would soon feel the impact of this new power. The Ottomans were on the march, and nothing would be the same. Their legacy would echo through the ages. The seeds of empire had been planted, the Ottoman dream was alive. A new era was dawning. For centuries, Constantinople stood as the ultimate prize, rich, holy, and nearly impregnable. The young Sultan Mehmed II, just 21, was determined to take it. In 1453, he brought massive cannons to break the city's legendary walls. For 53 days, the siege raged. Outnumbered, the defenders fought bravely, but the Ottomans pressed on. A forgotten gate was left unlocked. Ottoman soldiers poured in, others scaled the walls. The last Byzantine emperor died defending his city. On May 29, 1453, Constantinople fell. Mehmed entered the city as a conqueror, not a destroyer. He converted the Hagia Sophia into a mosque and made Constantinople his capital, renaming it Istanbul. He invited people from across the empire, Muslims, Christians, Jews, to repopulate the city. Istanbul quickly became a vibrant center of culture, trade, and power. The conquest marked the end of the Byzantine Empire and the true beginning of the Ottomans as a world power. Mehmed's vision transformed the city into the heart of a new empire. Istanbul became a bridge between continents and cultures. The dream of Osman now lived in one of the world's greatest cities. The Ottomans had arrived on the global stage. Their capital was a symbol of ambition and unity. The city's transformation was a turning point in history. Istanbul's legacy would shape the empire for centuries. The world watched as a new era began. The Ottomans had claimed their ultimate prize. The city's walls had fallen, but a new civilization was rising. Istanbul was now the beating heart of an empire. The world would never be the same. The center of the world, their golden age had arrived. Even in the golden age, cracks appeared. After Suleiman's death, weaker sultans took the throne. Power shifted to advisors and palace officials, corruption spread. Government jobs were sold, and unqualified people made key decisions. The legal system broke down and trust in leadership faded. The once mighty janissaries interfered in politics, sometimes overthrowing sultans. Meanwhile, European armies modernized, leaving the Ottomans behind. The empire lost battles and stopped expanding. New sea routes bypassed Ottoman lands, draining trade wealth. Economic decline deepened the crisis. The empire grew poorer as rivals grew stronger. The seeds of decline, planted long ago, began to grow. The Ottomans' invincibility faded. The tone shifted from pride to concern. The world was changing and the empire struggled to keep up. The slow unraveling had begun. The golden age was over. By the 1800s, the Ottoman decline was undeniable. Europe called it the sick man of Europe. The empire lost territory as regions like Greece, Serbia, and Egypt broke away. North African lands fell to European powers. Each loss was a blow to Ottoman pride and a sign of weakness. Sultans tried to modernize with reforms, the Tanzimat, building schools, railways, and a new army. But resistance to change and deep debt to European banks made progress difficult. The empire lost economic independence as foreign influence grew. The confidence of the Golden Age was gone, replaced by anxiety and desperation. The Ottomans struggled to find a cure for their decline. The map of the empire shrank with every treaty and war. The world watched, waiting for the inevitable collapse. The sick man's illness only worsened. The future looked dark and uncertain. The empire's days were numbered. The end was drawing near. In 1914, World War I sealed the empire's fate. The Ottomans joined Germany and Austria-Hungary, hoping to regain lost power. The war was a disaster. Fought on many fronts, the empire was stretched to its limits. The Gallipoli campaign brought a rare victory, led by Mustafa Kemal, but it couldn't change the outcome. The economy collapsed, and millions suffered. In a dark chapter, the Armenian genocide claimed countless lives. By 1918, the Ottomans and their allies were defeated. Allied forces occupied Istanbul. The empire was helpless. Its lands were divided by the victors. The dream of Osman had become a nightmare. The once mighty empire was broken. The end was near. The Ottoman 600-year reign was over. The world they built was gone. The empire faded from the stage of history. A new era was about to begin. The final chapter had closed. The Ottoman Empire was no more. After the war, the empire lay in ruins, its lands divided by the victors. But one man, Mustafa Kemal, refused to accept defeat. He rallied the Turkish people, launching a war for independence. The last sultan, powerless and isolated, signed away the empire's future. Turks turned to Kemal, rejecting the old order. In Ankara, a new government was born. Against all odds, they drove out foreign occupiers. In 1922, the Sultanate was abolished. The Ottoman Empire officially ended. The last sultan went into exile and the ancient dynasty was gone. On the ashes of empire, Kemal built a new nation. In 1923, the Republic of Turkey was declared, with Kemal, now Ataturk, as its first president. He introduced radical reforms, separating religion from the state, giving women the vote, and adopting the Latin alphabet. Ataturk's vision was a modern, secular, Western-style nation. The end of the Ottoman Empire was not just a collapse, it was a revolution. A new chapter began for Turkey and its people. The old world was gone, a new nation had risen, the transformation was complete. The legacy of the Ottomans lived on in a new form. Turkey emerged from the empire's ashes. The story of the Ottomans ended, but a new story had begun. The Ottoman Empire is gone, but its legacy endures. Modern borders in the Middle East, North Africa, and the Balkans were shaped by Ottoman rule. Conflicts and connections today often trace back to centuries under the empire. The Ottomans blended Turkish, Arab, Persian, and European traditions, seen in food, music, and language. Turkish words echo in many languages. Coffee culture spread worldwide thanks to the Ottomans. Istanbul remains a living museum, its skyline dominated by Ottoman mosques and palaces. From Sarajevo to Cairo, Ottoman architecture still stands as a reminder of a shared past. The empire's story is a lesson in ambition, achievement, and decline. It shows how power can rise, fall, and transform the world. The Ottomans' legacy is woven into the fabric of our present. Their story is a reminder that history is always moving forward. The rise and fall of the Ottomans shaped the world we know. Their echoes remain, a quiet reminder of an empire that once ruled 3 continents. The Ottoman legacy lives on, in maps, cultures, and the cities they built.